here to North Dakota. Keep all the offices over here, but all of your profits coming from America because you're making those investments and building the houses wherever you want to. Because once you're in the States, you're in the States. Europe. Well, guess what? They also have a lot of high taxes, and because of that, we saw companies that said, "Hey, we're not going to invest as much in Europe." And investment is the key here. Investment keeps the money flowing. And when we saw that happen with Europe, a lot of investment dollars came over here to America. And what's happening right now over in Europe, at least a little bit, not a lot, a little bit, you're seeing that they're kind of having these weird financial problems where, they like to take care of their citizens more than the United States, right? They have their health care, they have a lot more social welfare, I guess you would say. They're trying to figure out how to keep their budgets realistic while also keeping up that welfare, while also dealing with less tax dollars coming in. So they're having to make these sacrifices and cuts. And when you do that, it pisses off people. And so this is where, when the government tries to make these cuts, you have the far right or the far left kind of sprout up in anger and opposition. In Britain right now, I feel like conservatives are under siege. In Paris, I feel like Macron is under siege. Germany, all I ever hear is the far right is coming for Germany. I think the Netherlands just elected a far right. I say I do the quotes with this stuff because I don't know exactly if they're really far left or far right. I feel like the media just kind of says it without thinking nowadays. But this is all having impacts, and it's leading to a little bit more instability than I think people want. Realistically, Europe is kind of in a weird spot because they get a lot of their raw resources from Africa. Again, we've talked about this a little bit. Africa is starting to say, and I mean starting, they're not there yet, they're not even close to being there yet. They're saying, well, we don't want to give you our raw resources, for you to turn into like jewelry or something over here. Why don't we just do it all down here? And then we'll sell you the final product. But then all the jobs that would be part of the manufacturing over here, like a good middle class job, it's not happening in Europe, it'd be happening in Africa. Which means the wealthy that own everything, they can stay wealthy. The middle class gets kind of sucked out. We've already heard this story in America, of course. We went through our middle class, what do you want to call it, clusterfuck, where all the middle class jobs went over here, right? China, Asia, India, and the shareholders and the wealthy classes became very, very wealthy after getting stimulus money from the poor people, no less, right? So there's lots of stuff happening. It does cause a lot of controversy. If they didn't extend all those jobs out to Asia and stuff, we might not have had Donald Trump as our president, right? So there's so much stuff that, in hindsight, it's crazy.
This shit is not even working, bro.
Maybe it'll be interesting to talk about Bitcoin versus other currencies out there. Maybe
This
like
freaking
Bitcoin versus the yuan or Bitcoin versus
this wire is messed up. Like, I'm gonna need to buy a new one.
the peso or something. 'Cause it is going to matter down the road. Right now, it doesn't matter all too much. But global politics, we got wars going on. We got oil prices going up. We got the dollar index going higher. We're in a weird spot, but it's nowhere near as bad as things will get in the future. But, let's just be happy we're not in the future. I guess now we are, but now it's the present. Oh man, my cigar went out. Shucks, I'll have to relight this in a second here. Mark my words, Elon is going to make a hedge fund with attached ETF. I mean, he probably can. I think he's just trying to get paid right now from, what's that company called? Tesla. Because of what's going on in Delaware. Delaware's court went like full political.
This thing is not working. I might not be able to stream until I get this fixed.
That have CEOs who are not part of the status quo, they will probably leave Delaware out of fear that other judges will add some political twist to their cases. If they're just a company that really doesn't talk about politics, they kind of stay in the background quite a bit, or maybe they're a little bit more liberal, I don't think they're going to actually leave. I think they're probably just going to stay. I know they're talking about like a huge outflow of companies. I don't think so. I think the companies that feel like they may be under siege because they are, if Chick-fil-A was in Delaware, basically, I feel like they would be ones to leave. But, if Ben and Jerry's was in Delaware, I think they'd feel perfectly comfortable staying in Delaware. There are still a lot of benefits for it. And there's a reason why so many people have their companies there in the first place, as far as being, their main state. Doesn't mean their headquarters is there; it just means where they're filed and everything. So, different legal protections, things like that. They're very lax. It shakes up stuff, but again, not everybody's going to be leaving there. I think that's kind of an overreaction there. Nat gas dropped another 5% to 4-year lows. I grabbed more today. UNG, United States Natural Gas Futures contracts, I'm holding. I think that's usually the best thing to hold when it comes to natural gas. I'm just so shocked that it keeps on falling. That's why we talk about the dollar cost averaging. It seems like dollar cost averaging, what you're doing right now, seems like the only thing to do. I'm really just waiting for a turnaround, but I need to look up what some potential catalysts could be for that, because at the moment I'm seeing potential catalysts for us to make it stop falling, but not necessarily have a full-on reversal. He's like, the Zuck so pale and soulless eyes is creepy. It's kind of a politician's look. So you'll see this from a lot of bureaucrats and politicians. You guys have all known this for years now, right? They talk in a way to not piss anybody off or reveal too much, because they know if they talk too much, somebody's going to get pissed off. Somebody's always going to get pissed off. But, if you want to move up in the bureaucracy and get these political appointments, you have to. You have to not, how do I say this? You have to be acceptable, right? You have to be acceptable to both sides of the aisle, or at least enough of the moderates and progressives on the left, and the moderates and the hardcore guys on the right. You gotta find that balance, and that's all they're trying to do. But in the meantime, if you're just an average Joe, you have no idea what they're talking about. You can try to read between the lines, if you will, but even then, you heard Gary Gensler, you hear other people out in the bureaucracy. I think right now the big news story is Joe Biden's mental state. You could ask people, you could ask Joe Biden, hey, why do 65% of the people out there think that you are not mentally fit to run the United States? He doesn't say, I think they think this because, he just says, that's according to you, only the media thinks that. It's a political decision, and they're going to do it for the, Trump would do it, Obama would do it, Bush would do it, Clinton would do it, Reagan would do it, Bush Sr. would do it, whatever, all those presidents, they would all do the same thing. It's how they're taught, because, it's just wild. But I don't think politicians have necessarily been rewarded by being honest. So I just don't think they are honest. I spend most of my time focusing on my local politics, not so much what's going on in D.C. I am from Washington State, so we are kind of far away from the capital.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's too far not to make it.
I usually don't care too much about it. When Trump was in charge, things were fine. Things are, of course, a little bit harder with Biden in office, but things, for me, are still ultimately fine. It's those people that maybe live paycheck to paycheck. They really depend much more on what the president's policies are. For health care, I think the possibility of higher inflation, like all types of different stuff can be going on. I think they just passed the tax code, so parents or kids are going to have more tax benefits right now, and then they also compromised Republicans, and now the small businesses are going to also have some tax cuts. So Republicans are kind of working with small businesses, Democrats with families, and they're trying to get all those votes. So you get it, but it's they all have that sneakiness to them. But sometimes they can get something good done. It's not all bad news here. Let me keep scrolling down here, guys. Let's see. Good idea, but I will not let go a little higher. Let go this one. Just crossing resistance. Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay. Does your friend work call center? Do you told him to invest in Bitcoin and crypto to get rich? No, I don't tell them. If somebody wants to ask me for crypto advice, sure, I'll tell them. If they don't ask, I'm not gonna just say, hey, look at me, whatever. Loki's something. I don't know what he wants, but he wants attention. not everybody that lives paycheck to paycheck can afford to invest in cryptocurrencies. If they can, I feel like, like, okay, my friend, he lives paycheck to paycheck. I got a few friends that live paycheck to paycheck. But they also make, like, not everybody that works paycheck to paycheck has a low-paying job of like $15 an hour, $16 an hour. There are a lot of people who get paid $30 an hour, $40 an hour, but they still work paycheck to paycheck because they have a nice apartment in the downtown metropolitan area. They have a nice new car, and they're doing the payments on those cars. If you have a $300 or $400 payment a month on a car, I mean that's massive, right? I don't have car payments. I don't, I have cheap insurance. I don't get into car accidents. If my car goes kaput, I'll buy another cheap car. It's I'm not driving some old piece of shit car, but it's not like it's some luxury Mercedes or something. Heck, my grandparents, they have a nice Acura SUV, then they have a nice Acura, really nice Acura black car that they take only to church, and then they also have a Mercedes. I can't imagine how much they're spending every single month, on all the insurance bills, the car payments, and stuff like that. It blows my mind. I can just never do it. And even when I moved to Panama, I'm thinking of, hey, maybe what I should just do is I should just take Ubers, and I don't need to have a car. If I need a car and I realize I need a car, I'll buy one. But for now, I'm like, maybe an Uber is just the right thing for me to do for the first year or so. I heard it's about $200 a month to Uber, almost every day, pretty much. So, $200 a month, that's not a lot of money. That's perfectly fine for Ubering around. I might as well bump up to $250 if I want to have a nice, comfortable SUV ride, which I favor too. But that allows me to, if I'm not paying like $400 a month for a car, or $200 a month car, that allows me to buy other stuff that I would like. Like, let me show you guys this very fast while I'm doing this. I don't think this is the right one. No. Let me open up my business email accounts and I can show you guys something once it actually pops up here. Alright, so this is a private cigar lounge in Panama, and they had this website where they were talking about, oh yeah, we have a private membership plan, and there's different plans out there. So I was just basically asking them, hey, what are your plans? Can you explain them to me? And then he sent over this PDF document. And then here, what I can, this is the type of stuff I would spend my money on, okay? So before I look into this here, and I know this is not crypto related, but heck, it's Valentine's Day. Most of us are probably just kind of watching Bitcoin passively here. Let me light this right away back up. Let me light this bad boy back up, Jesus. VIP meeting room. In the VIP lounge, we have high-quality professional audio-visual and technological equipment for the development of your meetings. I'm thinking maybe if I get a nice package, VIP package, or membership package, basically, I can record some videos in there, which would be kind of nice, And I pretend like I'm in a Cuban outfit or a Latin American outfit with my little white hat and my little white clothes. An area designed for entertainment and social enjoyment. You can show off the skills and stick to your pool table. I have no pool skills. I am absolutely horrible. Outdoor area, pool, information terrace, whatever. Here, we have a bunch of stuff here. Walking indoors, yeah. So they have a few packages here, alright? So, they have a black package, a platinum package, a gold package, a silver package, and a pink package. Now, the pink package is $200 a year. The silver package is $360 a year. That comes with a silver welcome package, one premium selection box, access to all facilities, and 2 guests at a time, I guess. Now, I'm doing the platinum package. The platinum package costs $2,000 a year. And it is expensive. However, if the way my mind works, I'm trading off not having a car, not buying a $3,000. Now I don't really expect to have 8 guests. So I don't think I really need to have all that. But basically, the platinum package for $2,000, it gives you 2 anniversary series selection boxes, 1 premium selection box, 1 handmade ashtray. The box is just cigar boxes basically. 1 handmade ashtray, 2 packs of premium coffee, access to all facilities, limousine service, so I get a limousine anytime I want to go there, which is a pretty cool thing. Remember, this is still Panama. Everything is cheaper down there. Limousine service, 5 guests, and 15% discount on your club purchase and brand products. So, so if I'm going there for food, I would get like a 15% discount. I'd go to this place a lot. But yeah, so, platinum, maybe black, but honestly, what's the 3 premium selection boxes? That's not really worth it for me. 2 handmade ashtrays. I got 1, it's more than enough, ashtrays, I don't need many of them. Premium coffee, I get 2 pre-same here, limousine service, 20% discount on your club purchases. If they had more of a selection of cigars, maybe, but I don't think I'm going to be buying up loads of cigars here. I might bring a lot of my own cigars personally, because I want a lot of Cubans. A lot of these cigars they have are from the Dominican Republic, which is fine, but they're not Cubans, and I've come to love Cuban cigars. But that seems like it'd be decent for me right there. It's that type of stuff. That's how I try to keep a low budget by just like sacrificing certain things. I've been able to do so much more fun stuff because I don't own a new car. For like a good period of my life, I just don't own a new car. I'm pretty happy and excited with it. When I bought my new car, when I bought my current car, which was used, I bought it from a very small, side street car place. It was like they thought part of it was broken, so they sold it for really cheap. It turns out it was broken. Basically, the heater and system, the air filter was very clogged, and so they were like, okay, this car doesn't have a heater, so do you want it for cheaper? And I was like, oh shit, yeah, it was like $4,000, and I've used it ever since. My car is up to about almost 300,000 miles. 300,000. Everything's still nice and clean in it because I take care of it. I take it to got the monthly car wash membership for like $20, vacuum cleaners, they give you little things to clean your car if you pay for it. It's nice, that type of stuff. WWE signed exclusive deals, 5-minute matches in Twitter. Twitter gets some money from WWE. I mean, probably so. WWE has been making some massive investments over the past, 3-4 years. They've been doing good. Now, Twitter, X, they are making waves consistently right now, and I think it's just because everybody realizes that when something happens, I don't look for it. I don't look for the news on Facebook. I don't look for the news on Instagram. I'm looking for the news on Twitter, on X. So I think today you saw there was some tragic news coming out of Kansas City. I think somebody passed away. There was a shooting or something during the Kansas City Chiefs victory parade. When I was first hearing about it, I heard about it first on X. And then it took a while before the news even started to pick it up. So, if you want the newest breaking news, X is usually the best place to go. So there's going to be a lot of eyes there. And typically, journalists will be using X as much as they say they hate it, they're never going to be on it. They use X to find all their news stories, which is why you've seen this kind of weird battle, if you will, between Elon Musk and liberals, because now he kind of controls that flow. He made it so there was much more neutral coverage of a lot of events, so not everything coming from the media can kind of bolster that liberal bias that goes on over there that used to happen over there. You may think it's better, you may think it's worse. I know a lot of people think X is worse, I know a lot of people think X is better. It's all going to come down to your personal preferences. I'm not here to sway you either way. Do whatever you want. That's probably the best way to live, just do whatever you want. Matt Wallace is turning politics into social media since Baby changes his life. He spends less time in Dogecoin. Yeah, I mean, again, Matt Wallace, okay, so this is the story of most influencers out there during the bull market. So, you go over here to final stand. It's right here. Oh, final stand channel. Okay. Alright. What? There you go. Alright. So his subscribers for the last 30 days are not doing so hot because he pretty much gave up on cryptocurrency. But typically what you're going to see is back over here during all-time highs, you see how his channel spikes, lots of views, lots of money coming in, and then most people are not able to pivot and change up their content in a meaningful way, so they can't sustain their channel because, again, when you're making a bunch of money on all-time highs and stuff like that, you will invest a lot more into your YouTube channel, and then your upkeep kind of drastically increases. And then so when everything starts to come back down, not everybody has the revenue to keep everything going, right? They have to just figure out where they want to make cuts. Sometimes the cuts are too disastrous for the channel because people like certain things. So now this once powerhouse of a channel is looking at 300 views a day, which is not a lot, and he's losing subscribers. He's losing 1,000 subscribers every few weeks here. So, no, 1,000 every couple of months, every month about 1,000 subscribers. 15,000 views for the last 3 days. He just wanted a different way to make money. And honestly, politics is a pretty easy way to make money. You'd be surprised how many Twitter political people that have lots of views, they're usually getting paid by the DNC or the RNC to kind of juice up people, spread misinformation because they want their people to turn out and vote because voting is power, right? It's all about power. And people are willing to spend money if it gets them power. So you'll see a lot of people out there that get paid by Democratic and Republican institutions in order to further certain viewpoints. It's just the way it is. Now he's kind of gone off into that conspiracy realm. Probably not the best place to be from a mental standpoint. It just seems like it's mentally taxing. However, there are a lot of people that will watch that type of content and sign up for that type of stuff. And he has a big Twitter following.
Once you get the money, then you get the power.
It is what it is. It's just the way the world works. People want to keep money. People want to make more money. And there are a lot of people out there, like, if you worked a $15 an hour job, and you learn that you can be making like $70 an hour or $100 an hour by just spamming vile stuff on Twitter or X, and posting videos of just random shit, like you'd probably say, oh yeah, fuck yeah, let me do that. I can actually afford a house. I can actually afford a car. You can see people do that. You can easily understand why people would make that choice. Easily understand. You may not agree with it, but you can understand why they would make that choice. Or for him, he was making good money. He didn't want to start having less money to spend, so he switched over. Probably not the way I would definitely be better off financially without the car payments and the full coverage car insurance. Yeah, I mean, you can have different types of insurance. Like, I don't have the full coverage one. I've just kind of come to accept if something happens, something happens. My insurance my money goes to health insurance, and it goes to, platinum plan, in case anything bad ever happens to him. I don't want to have to worry about anything because it'll all be taken care of. Up to like a really high, the hundreds of thousands of dollars level. But besides that, I just don't really have much of an upkeep. Guys, let's see. YouTube included, I'll upkeep there. Because I'm living in one of my grandmother's extra houses, this is the one I help take care of my mom in. I'm pretty much here, so my sister has somewhere to come back to when she leaves college. I'm going to Panama here pretty soon. I'm only going to Panama when she has her own place. I pay about $1,000 a month for rent. When I was living by myself in the city, kind of doing my own thing, it was a lot higher. It was like more around $2,000, so that's kind of what I'm used to paying. But right now, $1,000, it's a lot easier, right? Now, as far as YouTube, each one of my streams, not this one, like the 24-hour streams, it usually costs about $100 of upkeep a month. So that's around $400 usually. Do I have 3 or 4 streams? 4 streams, yeah. About $400 a month, okay? Because I pay for each trading view accounts, I pay for all those streaming software, so that. It's about $400 a month. On top of that, gas probably costs me about $50. rent, about $200 a month in gas, about $400 in all the other stuff. Food for me is usually about $400 as I pay for some really quality meat. Usually I'm dieting right now, so not too much. Health insurance is about $250 a month. Car insurance is usually about only $100 a month. It's not a lot for me because I don't have a fancy car. No car payments, which is nice. So it's kind of around $23.50 a month, typically. Okay. Now, cigars. That actually cost me about $300 or $400 a month. So let's go $350. You know, a lot there. Oh, what the heck is going on? No, I messed up. Shit. It's like $23.50 or something like that. Plus another $40 for cigars a month. I buy a lot of Cubans right now, so it's not a continual expense, but it's something. So that's around $27.50, and then I go out to eat every now and again. Like I take my grandparents out to eat. I take my sister to eat when she's back. That will usually run me about another $400 a month. Right. So right now, I'm not taking my grandparents out to eat at all this month. I think I took them out last month for their my grandfather's birthday. But you know, at max basically, I'd be spending about $3,100 a month. If you take away me not buying a bunch of cigars, because I'm not smoking $400 worth of cigars, I'm currently buying that much a month to kind of build up a stock. That goes up to $27.50. Take off $100 from the food a little bit. Anything else really? Take off. Well, let's not take off too much here, because this is also work expenses. It's not, and YouTube pays me back for this. $26.50, including work expenses. It's not bad. If you take off work expenses and some of the other stuff, it's a lot cheaper. But again, there are people that have to pay like $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, who are making the same amount of money as me, up to like maybe $7,000 a month if you live downtown. I don't do that. So it's just life is so much easier. I used to stress a lot about money, and then I realized if I just don't do as much stuff, I'll be fine. Like I rarely go out to eat. $300 is pretty generous because I'm also thinking of like buying out food. If I go out to the cigar lounge, I'm bringing my own cigar, so I'm not actually paying for a cigar there. Maybe every now and again I do, but I rarely do. A bowl of fruit, a big bowl of fruit is $5. A big, large container of mac and cheese is $5. Typically I'll get a bowl of fruit and a thing of mac and cheese. It's a weird combo, I know. But that's $10 for the food, $9 for every drink. I usually have 2 to 3 drinks. That's $30 plus another $10, $20, and then usually I'll give my $20 tip because like the bartenders that. So a typical night out for like 4 or 5 hours, a few cigars, having a good time. That's around $67. That's pretty good, for a good 4-hour night. If I want to take an Uber back home, I'm not ever drunk enough to need to take an Uber back home, but if I did, the Uber to my house will cost about $50, so about like the same price as me staying out for the most part. So, but again, that's because I have the option to decrease my my expenses. Not everybody, like people can already have really cheap expenses, but they have such low income that they really just can't. They're stuck. They really can't do much there, and that's the hard part. Hey, what's up? My thoughts on FSR. It's not crypto, just a descending triangle, or is it forming a support about now? FSR. Fisker. This thing is making relatively new lows here. It's a penny stock, so, oh my god, so we haven't talked about this in a while. I don't know if it was you or somebody else, but we talked about the breakdown, and the breakdown, oof, wow, yeah, this is not a good one. So I would only buy this if it broke above the 20-day moving average, and I would give it probably a 5% stop loss after it broke out above the 20-day moving average. This thing looks like it just wants to continue falling down and continue the breakdown. Now, it could be some type of small penny stock that has a very high short squeeze opportunity, something like that. But typically, you want to be very, very careful. This thing is not looking the best. If you want to see some more momentum get picked up, you just want to wait for it to break above that 20-day moving average. Last time I did it was over here. It didn't really amount to much. Back when it was more stable, I would say, it did a little bit more. But right now, it seems to be falling off a cliff. So Yeah, it's a high risk coin. I'd be very, very careful with it. But again, if you just want to wait for it to pop above that 20-day moving average, after that, a good opportunity is just to move a stop loss up relatively close, and then you're just waiting to see what happens next. Because if it's not, it doesn't look like it's going to just crash and burn, and then your stop loss is going to hit the next day and it's going to be horrible. Things are going to be like a relatively like chug, like down 1 day, down 2 days. It's not going to be like a sudden drop. It's just gonna be down, 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 down. But you may see more shorts start to pile on it once that breakdown is achieved. Let's see. And what did I do for VD, Mike? Explain what VD is. Not gonna try to help you out there 'cause I have no idea. I talk about a lot of stuff, but I just kind of goes through my head. Any possibility to sell Bitcoin? I mean, Bitcoin's technically breaking out right now unless it wants to go higher. It managed to shrug off some really bad news from the inflation and just boom, right back up. So
If you only have a 401k and a Robinhood IRA on top, then boost it by 3%. Robinhood Gold gives you the biggest match of any IRA on the market.
way down here in Spanaway, far away from the downtown area of Tacoma, downtown area of Seattle. But if I want to, I can take the train all the way to Seattle perfectly fine. But you know, I have a friend that lives in this building right here, Mackenzie Apartments. I paid $4,000 a month. Yes. I used to have a friend that lived right here, I think, on one of these two floors. They were paying $3,500 a month, and they're on the second floor. Are you like a beautiful view of this probably is from Amazon video, but, you know. But what do you call it? You know, it might be worth it if you work across the street or something. But you know, you go right here, you can live off the block. It's one of those types of neighborhoods. You got the light rail. So the light rail system goes through here. Right here, you got the Whole Foods Market. Look at that. You got this guy right here staring at something. Oh my God, an old CD player on top. Whoa, that's wild. It's rare that you see those types of things. What the heck is that? Those statues. Those are not real people. That freaked me out for a second. You know, you got what you need. If you want to go somewhere, you got the light rail. It's nice area. Don't get me wrong. It's just that it also costs $4,000 a month. You know. And that's not including the parking for your car. It's just insane in my mind. But I used to be one of those people. I used to live downtown. I used to spend a bunch of money. And I realized, like, wow, you know, when things get rough, you have no money left. You know. And what I mean by is, if you're paying $4,000 a month for rent, you obviously are making about $12,000 a month in pay at least. Because that's the way the rules work. A lot of times you have to make 33% or 25% of your income is going to rent usually in Seattle. Sometimes much more. But they want to check your income levels and stuff like that. If you're making $12,000 a month and you are spending $4,000 a month, you're probably putting quite a bit away for maybe a rainy day fund. You might be putting some away in your retirement account. You're obviously going out to nice restaurants quite a bit. You're doing a lot of Ubers. You're spending a lot of nice quality food. You have nice appliances. You have a lot of upkeep associated with that lifestyle. It's fine, right? So you're making a lot of money. The moment you're laid off, all of a sudden, $4,000 a month will eat into your savings dramatically and very quickly. And So that's what I mean by once the gravy train's over, everything gets really bad really fast. I try to invest and have a lot of money in assets. So even if the stock market crashed or something like that, I still have money in bonds I can pull out. That's what you normally want to pull out. I don't mess with my long-term accounts and things like that because I don't have to. But people might have to. You know, that's the pain of it. Remember when COVID happened, everybody lost their jobs. The government had to do a tax exemption so you could actually pull money out of your long-term portfolios in a way that you wouldn't get taxed heavily for. Lots of crazy stuff. My gosh, this cigar went out here. I'm talking too much. Let's like this bad boy one more time. And I could probably add do that for me on really editing. Alright. I broke the match and it's still lit. So as far as Bitcoin's going now, I know somebody just asked me for technical analysis. We're basically breaking out. Now, this type of breakout isn't your typical breakout, and I'll explain why in a second, but you can see there's a little bit of resistance from this previous shoulder in this head and shoulders pattern. Right there, around $52,088. We are currently at $52,234, so we are actually above this line right here. Only so much, but we are above it at least. The main goal for Bitcoin is this week is just to hold above this and close above it. That would give Bitcoin an opportunity to surge much higher. Now, can you guys see this? No, you guys can't. It is only Wednesday. We have a few days left until Sunday comes around, so anything can happen. But if Bitcoin's able to break out and close and hold above this level, from then on out, we go back to the monthly chart, where we're going to be having a surge to try to go back up here towards around $62,000. That is going to be absolutely insane because the halving hasn't happened yet. It doesn't matter at this point. The Bitcoin spot ETFs have been much more fruitful for Bitcoin than anticipated. We've seen Bitcoin going up more and more and more and shrugging off all bad news. We haven't had a red-green month, a red month as far as the calendar on the charts since August. August is the last time we had a bad month. And that August is a long time ago.
Well,
but now,
why does every team keep letting China land there? I don't know why.
Data kicked us off one day. We are going to be looking to consolidate. If you're looking for some of those shorter term resistance levels, we can always go here to here to here. We already broke out above that one. We're broken out above that one right now. Shorter term resistance level is going to be around 56,295. To me, I see a lot of resistance between 55,000 and 57,000. So I doubt we're going to break above that in one gigantic surge, but it gives us an opportunity pretty soon to consolidate. That consolidation that's probably going to be happening somewhere around here. That's where I see altcoins having their opportunity to go much higher. Now, there may be, for whatever reason, some bad news coming out with other inflation data on Friday, so just kind of keep an eye on that one, because that may give people more of a uh-oh type of moment. But we've already seen that Bitcoin simply doesn't care. But right now it seems like we're charging up towards 55,000 if we're lucky, 60,000 if we're really lucky. 60,000 would be something more I would expect in April, not so much in March or February. However, if we don't try to have any consolidation, things can be a little bit different. I mean, just zooming out here, you've had these big spikes before. We did have a consolidation, even before this large spike. That consolidation was a month, right? So it was sideways. We did have a long consolidation. The ETF news caused a lot of volatility, but even still, for us to have this large breakout that we are right now, it technically took about 66 days. So, again, we'll probably move up higher, but around 55,000, 57,000, I do expect this to try to consolidate again and give all these altcoins that are pretty much breaking out right now at the beginning stages. They'll have their momentum, right? Solana breaking out a little bit right here. Those on Mars, you can see that small breakout right there. Engine token breaking out, EOS breaking out, Matic breaking out, but ever so slightly. Matic, though, on the weekly chart, it looks like it's gearing up for a golden cross, a surge maybe back above $1. That's why I'm long on it right now. But again, I've had to re-enter a few positions got stopped out due to that dumb inflation report. It's not even dumb. I just just annoyed me. But yeah, Bitcoin's still more strong here. You can see the 5-minute chart. We're making another move. We're trying to break this order block and then go higher. 2-minute chart. We're trying. We're desperately trying at this point to have another nice move. It looks like we may actually have it here pretty soon. Whales are moving this up higher, so these surges are just big walls being broken down. I need to get a flask. I spend too much when I go out too much. Then I get dumb and start getting more and more. Join the club, yeah. See, this is where you guys have to know a bartender. The Pine Box, I love the Pine Box. I'm going to have to go up there sometime. I see, now that unfortunately my friend went to jail, I have no friend to go to the bar with. So I'm going to be going solo. So I'm going to be drinking by myself. It's going to be very freaking awkward. Maybe I'll go sometime in March. But I'm going to head up there. I usually go up there maybe once a month. I know the bartender. I give him very nice tips. He's a very nice guy. He's a very chill guy. He plays good music. Basically, the last time I was there, I asked him for a drink that would fuck me up and be very, very cheap to fuck me up. And I have money. He's like, because I've had expensive whiskey there. They have like high-end whiskey and cheaper whiskey, but I've had different types of stuff there. So I have to specifically tell him, because if I just tell him I want a good drink, he'll make it into something really classy, and I'll get charged for the classy stuff. But if I ask for a cheap fuck me drink, it will not even show up on my tab. So, get to know your bartender. It takes a little bit of time to tip them properly and get them to know you. But if you can go to like something of a grunge bar, if you like those type of places, they're really, really fun. Typically, when you're out with your friends, though, it can be hard because you don't really get to choose the bar. Kind of like a group decision. You kind of just like you don't go against the grain. You're like, okay, let's go. You know, it all depends. It all depends. But a flask never hurt anybody. Honestly, I used to take flasks to Seahawks games. They're freaking fantastic. Save your money. Buy booze from the store, bring it on in. They're not going to care all too much. Usually, just buy a beer. Maybe like $4 or $5. Give you up to like $10 beers. You know what you want. Or some whiskey in it. It's like the bartenders are staring at you the entire time. It's not even like you're at the bar the entire time, right? Order there, drink up, have a good time. A flask will do you good because once you're drunk, you will start spending money a lot more. And trust me, that's something I do in Vegas, which is why I typically am gambling while I'm getting my free alcohol because at least I'm having a fun time with it. Do I think Bitcoin? It can up to probably $57,000. But it's going to have a pretty sharp rejection off of that and consolidate for a while. Do you only dollar cost average in Bitcoin, or do you also use trailing stop losses? I only dollar cost average into it. Basically, I don't use trailing stop losses all too much. To me, if you want to do trailing stop losses, I typically would use it more for the stock market. When it comes to crypto, there are just too many days where we have these nasty moves down, and it just stops it out, and then all of a sudden Bitcoin has a crazy reversal, kind of what we're seeing right now. So typically, you might want to have something more of a 30 or 40% trailing stop loss, and that's just insane, right? If you're dollar cost averaging Bitcoin, let's go to the chart. Let's go to this one. Right? Let's say you buy down here. Bitcoin goes up. You go to this high part here. Oh no, banking crisis. Jerome Powell doesn't know how to manage inflation properly, so he's raising rates too fast, and it's causing banks to freak out. Well, right here, Bitcoin falls 22%. That means all the progress that you had over here basically gets sold right here for a decent profit, not a great profit. Let's see, a 50% profit after all that. And then afterwards, you don't even have enough time to buy because it surges again. And again, we have a high point, then we come back down 20%. So you have to have a pretty large trailing stop loss, which is kind of annoying. And it doesn't matter. It matters a little bit over here. But again, if you're right here, and and you're buying Bitcoin or something like that, it goes up 38%. It's not going to hit that 20% stop loss. Oh, shit, it did. Okay, bad example. But again, it can mess up, so you have to have something really drastic, 30%, 40%, which is just insane. But again, if you buy it down here, then you have that 30% to 40% money. Let's do 30%. You buy down here, it rallies all the way up here, 60%. Back down, 30%, 32%, 40%. I keep it going a little bit higher. And again, let's go back over here. Rallies at 10%. Now what you're looking for is 25%. It's not bad. 40% So you buy here, you sell it kind of at this drop over here. So that's kind of what you have to do. But typically, I just dollar cost average, and then I'm looking for all-time high, death cross between the 20 and 50-day moving averages. Those are usually those bread and butters. Like, okay, I'm okay with scaling out here. Because again, you're waiting for an all-time high, then the death cross, then you can be selling anywhere over here, anywhere. And that's still anywhere over here is better than this drop where you're going to be hitting that 40% or 30% stop loss, trailing stop loss. You know, all-time high, fine. It doesn't work as much when you're over here though. So this is not an all-time high. This was an all-time high. Death cross, and what happened? We kind of went down, but it wasn't necessarily a crash. It was just COVID. All-time high, death cross, boom. You know, and usually during this big boom moment right here, where Bitcoin's going sideways, that's where the altcoin season is really popping off and everything's hitting extremes. That's why when I did my Fairdesk buy-ins and my BYT5 buy-ins here, I'm so excited because I have a couple that are 3x, I have a couple that are 2x. If even one of these goes up to a couple thousand %, I'm going to be very, very excited about this. We started off this trade big up $534 in the last couple of hours. You know, things are looking pretty good. Now there are still red in here, but you can see it's a lot more green than it was just a few weeks ago when everything was red.
I think I'm gonna stop, you guys. Peace out. I've just been playing, not serious. Been also listening to the stream, but I just wanted to play a little bit. I think I'm gonna get off. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. It wasn't that serious. Maybe on the weekend I'll be more serious, but I was watching the stream. I don't know how it'll be tomorrow or Friday, but definitely maybe next time when I have more time, I'll just play video games and focus when I really have time. Alright. See you guys in the next stream. Peace out.